The Avengers radio series, a cultural phenomenon in South Africa back in the 1970s. South Africa was a country with no national television service. It wasn't until 1976 that the country would get its first taste of television broadcasts. But before that, radio was the primary medium of entertainment and information for the masses. This was the context when The Avengers, a British spy FI series, made its debut on South African radio and became a cultural phenomenon. The Avengers was a British television series that originally aired from 1961 to 1969. The show revolved around the adventures of John Steed, a suave and sophisticated secret agent, and his various female associates. The series was a unique blend of traditional spy thriller elements with science fiction and fantasy, which set it apart from other shows of its time. While the series was hugely popular in the UK and had also made a significant impact in the American markets, being one of the rare British series given a network transmission slot, it was virtually unknown in South Africa. This was primarily due to the lack of a national television service in the country until 1976. However, as a film series, The Avengers was able to gain some exposure in South Africa through film rentals. But it was the launch of the radio series that truly brought The Avengers to the masses in South Africa. Come and listen at www.myclassicradio.net.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to a new week of Bob and Ray shows and to a particular program that we've looked forward to ever since we set it down on paper some weeks back.
Better than last week's string of bombs.
Now, that isn't any way for us to get going. We have to have the confidence of this crowd here.
Well, I wish the audience wouldn't feel that they could just participate so easily in this program.
It's always been that way, though.
You make us a nervous wreck because we're afraid what you might say, audience. These are live microphones, you know, and this is going from one end of this country to the other, so I wish you wouldn't speak out like that.
Sometimes you can
I just wanted to tell you that the shows were bombs, and I hope they were better.
Well, I hope, if that's your opinion, that they were, I hope they will be better. But as far as we're concerned...
Hope you drop by Eddie's place for a good chocolate milkshake.
Oh, we'll sure be there.
Yes, sir. I make it real nice.
Yeah, well, let's not have any
Real
commercial
thick.
either. Again, I'd like
25 cents for a pine and Stevens.
I'd like to remind you that it is
Eddie.
coast to coast, and business like that costs money, you know.
Where would you go down and get $17.50 from him, please? Because that is the fee we charge for a commercial, right?
That's right. Evidently thought we were selling him the minute.
All right. While he goes down there, then.
Our Gig Young, Right to Gig Young week was a smashing success, we're told.
You know, Bob, it was a much bigger success than Yaroslav Drobny week because people couldn't spell it. You remember?
That's right.
Everybody writing to Yaroslav Drobny.
He didn't have his address either.
He got into all sorts of trouble.
We're still getting mail to Yaroslav.
Oh, hey, Bob and
You giving me a tough time down there?
No, he hit me, Bob and Ray.
Well, get the $17.50 from him, will
He
you?
hit me.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but we can't...
You stay down here, you get it. Now then.
We have never hit a member of a studio audience personally, ourselves, for 26 years of this.
Boy, can I forget it now?
He's a tough customer, isn't he?
You want me to really insist on it?
Yes, we need it. He gave a commercial, and that's the rate.
Well, while Webley's engaged down in the audience, let's bring on that wonderful old showbiz couple. Famous, I'm sure you're going to remember these people, many of you, with a tear of nostalgia, as you hear the name, the amazing Bollins.
Bollins, come on up here, Bollins. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, boy. That's just those familiar faces is enough. Sit down here, Ma Boland and Pa. Let's have a real old-fashioned show business talk. You know, you have been in just about every phase of show business that I can think of. You were, I know you're in juggling, you're in legit acting, mind reading, you're in snakes, you're in pistol and whip act, you had a dog act once.
Did you see that one?
No, No, I didn't see that.
We were in comedy, too, many years ago.
Yes, those were the days, weren't they, Mother?
Then we were adagio dancers, but I wouldn't want to try that now.
I couldn't lift her very well.
Then we were in a trapeze act, and
what kind of an act was it? Fly through the air type of thing?
Yes, but we got up there.
Could you speak a little louder, Ma? Because the engineer is signaling me that your voice is a little weak and not picking up too well.
We got up there, and we started to swing back and forth, and I said, stop me off, and I got down the best I could. I got scared up there.
Those were the days we used to make $25 a week. We could...
You suppose I'll have to pay $17.50
Please,
this week's going to be a string of bombs, too?
Look, you don't know that it is.
I say that's free.
You can't tell this soon.
You're saving a lot, buddy.
Oh, wait a minute, Webb. Don't play along with it now.
What do you mean? I'm not going to fight him anymore.
Getting back to the amazing Bolins, you have...
your bar?
Yes,
We pronounce it Bolins.
Oh, do you? I thought it was...
Amazing.
All my life I've called it the amazing Bolins.
Well, you're not the only one.
B-O-L-L-I-N-S.
I think the old man himself calls it Bolins sometimes.
I do, Mother, yes.
You've been out late.
Yes. Well, now, you're retired from active show business. You haven't performed professionally for some years now, is that right?
Well, the only thing we can do now, effectively, is remove wallets from...
Oh, you do kind of like a pocket-picking act?
Well, only when it's necessary. We don't want to make a habit of it.
No, we haven't been caught yet, either.
Well, they were certainly kidding when they said you didn't have a sense of humor.
Well, we really don't. We got your wallet, Ray.
Well,
Here you are, Ray. There's no trouble at all.
well, let's have it. Thank you.
And let's not have any more of it. What memories do you have of, say, at the turn of the century, traveling around? Vaudeville was big, of course, then.
Well, I wasn't even born at the turn of the century, Bobby.
Well, looking at you, I would think you must be at least an octogenarian.
No.
Oh, you've got that all wrong.
We had a tough time in show business. See, I'll be 39 come June.
And I'll be 42. Well, you certainly must have had some tough days then. It's kind of a sad story.
Well, old folks, I guess it's time for you to go on back and sit amongst your friends there in the audience.
Yes, we'll go back to the Residence Club.
All right.
Thanks very much for being here, amazing Bowling. Let's really get it. We're a grand old couple of show business. And right now, let's say we give everybody a hint about what they'll be hearing on CBS Radio's House Party tomorrow.
Why are you bringing that up now?
Well, I just thought we might part the curtain a crack so people will know what the show has in store for them. Kind of an inkling, you know?
Okay, a little inkle.
Tomorrow, Art Linkford is going to be talking with a famous guest. I think one of the amazing Bowlers. We'll also chat with members of the studio audience, and there'll be probably a game and a contest or two. Then we'll discuss this and that with the famous kids panel.
Now he does all the time.
That's right, yeah.
Well, what was all that about cracking the curtain on tomorrow's house party?
Well, I changed my mind. It might spoil people's fun if we spilled the beans about what was going to happen on the show.
Okay, that's tomorrow, Tuesday, May 10th, on CBS Radio.
Now it's time once again for Mr. Trace, keener than most persons. As the surly old investigator and his assistant Spike Delancey take from the files the case Mr. Trace calls the murder of the missing eavesdropper. It's early afternoon as we join Mr. Trace and Spike Delancey in his office just off Times Square.
Say, it's bizarre, sir. Hey, where's my disc gone, sir?
Well, it should be right over there in the corner, Spike. It was there this morning.
Say, it's bizarre as far as it's not there now.
Open the window and let a little more light in, Spike. It's dark here.
Well, just a moment, sir. There's no window here either.
You mean someone has taken the window completely?
Say, it's bizarre, Mr. Traceley. I'm person than kid.
Well, I'll be peopled if something hasn't happened.
Well, Mr. People, I don't care who kids, but I'll be traced. If I'll disappear here...
That's tractable, Spike. Go downstairs and warm up the high-powered black limousine.
Sakes alive, sir. I'm truly people.
Open the door. You can't open the door. It's off the hinges.
Says bizarre, mister. There's no door here, sir.
No, I've noticed that earlier. I think there's something wrong here, Spike.
Wait, just a moment, sir.
What?
I believe we're in the wrong studio, sir.
I believe you may be right, Spike. And so Mr. Trace calls a halt to the case he called the case of the missing props. Be sure and join him next time when we'll hear Spike Delancey expostulate,
Say it's bizarre, sir. I'm keenly.
in the next episode of Mr. Trace, Keener Than Most Persons.
And now, here's my announcing friend, Bob Elliott.
Thanks very much, Ray Goulding. Ladies and gentlemen, here with us today is a fellow who is hoping to have a great deal of work on his hands in the next few weeks because he is a teacher of some sort. I wonder if you'll tell us a little bit about the work that you do, sir, and how it happens that this is the busy season for you.
Well, Bob, as you know, I've been here, several times before.
Yes, we've talked to you in years gone by, and every spring it seems that you show up here, and of course I know the reason for your visit, and maybe some of the folks don't.
That's correct. Right.
As I understand it, you are engaged by baseball teams, is that right?
Yes, baseball teams, and political parties, to instruct speakers to speak, as though they were speaking into a PA system.
In large places like ballparks and...
Arcs, steady,
backs of trains.
and big gardens.
I should think that with the coming political conventions, you'd have quite a lot of activity on that score, too.
You're not whistling Dixie.
I'm not whistling Dixie when I say that, because
I like to teach my students to talk as though they were standing at second base. At a huge ballpark, arc. On those timers day, hey.
With no microphone. How long did it take you to develop this unusual talent of yours so that you could express it to other people?
One time the PA system broke down,
Uh-huh.
And rather than disappoint the crowd, I just went on, as though the PA system was working, ting.
So you've turned what might have been a major calamity into a very successful venture financially and...
It worked out very well for me. Gee.
We'll be looking forward to seeing some of your students in action this coming season, and thanks a lot for dropping up here today. You get the regular... Okay?
Thank you.
Sherman L. Salisbury, ladies and gentlemen, who is one of our regulars. Almost like to think of him as one of the staff.
Terrible thought, Bob. Dreadful. Can you imagine sitting across the same room from him all day?
Well, it could get kind of tiresome. I think it's time for you to give us the song of the day, though.
All right.
Hope you're all ready.
Do I have enough time to sing because...
Well, I just don't think a person can be seen on the street.
What do you mean I got baggy trousers?
Oh, no, come on,
don't be fighting with us.
Look back to you, but...
All right, come on, please. We're going to stop the fighting.
Please.
We are trying to do a program up here.
That you shouldn't be walking on the street
All right.
looking like that.
Look, Mary McGowan, Well,
I mean just that.
Come on, cut it out now.
come on, Baloo, let's go. You should have more.
I was very careful.
Come on.
What's the cool part, though?
Somebody like that.
Oh, they get into that argument so often.
What is it they argue over anyway? I've never heard the gist of it.
One of the things is the way Wally dresses, I think.
Well, that is a sore point with everybody.
Those plaid trousers, which he affects, thinking that they're stylish.
I see Pierre has just given the downbeat to our non-existent musicians here, which would indicate it's time for us to run along. And we'll be back to say so long in just 10 seconds.
Here's how we do that saying so long business.
It's fairly easy. Until tomorrow, Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get lip. No,
Bob Elliott reminding you to hang by your thumb.
This is National Hospital Week. A salute now to the nation's healers from the CBS Radio Network.
This is 74 in San Francisco, KCBS, AM/FM. AM/FM.